wanted to talk a little bit about the design process and the idea behind this drawing, painting. So the overall idea was that I wanted to essentially design my own travel caravan. So if I were to actually have such a wonderful vehicle to travel and design it and paint it myself, what would I put on it? And I think what came to me as the obvious answer was I would make it a collection of artistic details from places that I have already been. And then ideally, if I were to actually have this, then as I go to different places, keep adding on those artistic details. So to talk you through them, for example, let's see, the first thing that calls out to me is always the masks in the front, the two masks on each side of the door. Those are actually máscaras de gigante, which are very popular in certain festivals in Puerto Rico. So that, of course, is my hometown touch, I guess. I had to add Puerto Rico in this at some point. And then going from there, actually the door itself, the bottom half of the door was actually very directly inspired by Spanish tiles. That's one of the designs that I liked a lot that I had seen before, and I modified it a bit so it would be in a rectangle rather than a square tile. And then on top of that, there is the smooth lines on top on the, I guess, the window part of the door, which are lines inspired by Bulgarian architecture. One of the things that I loved when going to Bulgaria with my dad actually was how every house was so perfectly painted. And not just perfectly painted, but painted with lines and flower designs that it's incredible that everybody pays that much attention to it. So going from that, on the sides of that front part of the caravan, I guess the vines that look with the flowers, the vines that curl up with the flowers on the ends, that is also inspired by architecture, but Romanian. Same concept actually, was those specifically were an idea that I got from a door in what castle? The Bran Castle, actually, the Bran/Dracula Castle. There was a door with this really beautiful flower designs on it, and I turned it into a vine sort of rail for this. Then after that, moving up on that same side of the caravan is the green part, the dome-ish green part that is also from Bulgarian architecture. That design was directly on top of, I can't remember if it was a door or a window, but one of the two. It was like the top frame design of it. So I thought it was very fitting for the top part of my door. And then right on top of that, there are the three sort of coin-looking things, one on top and then one on each side, with a Celtic symbol, of course, from my year in Ireland. I had to involve that. That's actually my favorite spiritual Celtic symbol, so that's the one that was, to me, obvious to include. So now moving towards the right side of the piece, starting with the top, that design on top of the windows, the one with the circle and the sort of triangular lines coming out of it. That design comes from Colombian chiva. So chiva is the most common method of transportation locally in Colombia. And it's essentially it's not even a big van. It's like a big van, but with much more seating space. But they're all sort of like benches, and it's open air. So there's a roof, but there's no windows. There's only the, I guess, door holes where people get in from. And so it's a much more freeing transportation experience. You're definitely more connected to the nature that's happening around you, which was really nice. But more importantly, they're all very vibrantly painted. They're all full of colors, full of designs, very detailed designs, and they all match with each other. They all have this type of similar design and all very vibrant with colors. So that design is one of the very, very many Chiva designs. And I guess I could say that the overall color palette of the Caravan could be mildly or very much inspired by Chiva, but honestly it's just inspired by my favorite colors, so that's not necessarily the case, but it kind of looks like it. Then going down from the Chiva design, the more undulated lines that are right above the windows, that is the Carriel design, also from Colombia. Specifically, they are made in the Antioquia region, and Carriel is essentially the classic design for leather purses or bags meant originally for men, but now popularized for women as well. Mostly men wear it though, but they're the Carriel design has become so popular and so traditional that they actually put it in many other leather items like backpacks or belts or even flip-flops. You see it everywhere. So that was another must from Colombia to add here. Then going down to the windows, that one is not that much in terms of things that art pieces from countries, but rather comfort pieces because they're inside. I definitely wanted a lamp because I wanted to be able to see life inside, I guess. And that particular design, it looks sort of like a Moroccan lamp. It also reminds me of the south of Spain, also because of the more influence in the south of Spain, of course. But it reminds me of that, and I just absolutely love the design of it. And the coffee, because it's coffee, and that goes with me everywhere. Then below the windows, there is another Romanian design. That one is a combination of a design a little bit from that door from that castle and another architectural design from a column in front of a church in Sinaya. So the lines themselves are definitely inspired by the door, and then the flower, the pine cone, and the shell-shaped corners were definitely from the column design in front of the church. And that's it. That's about every design element of this. I wanted to look very old-fashioned, yet with all of my modern interests. Not that they're modern, but current. And then a simple background, because I definitely want the very detail-filled piece to be the center of attention. So that's where the watercolors came in handy, and I just like the smooth, very fluid color that watercolors provide, and very, very fluid shapes, and they all sort of blend in with each other, but still create an environment. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching, and there's more to watch. I will leave you now with the rest of the music. Enjoy!